Hola, hola, bienvenidos. It is Lady Diana, and I am outside. Coming from New York City. New York City is pretty empty, but I needed to take a walk, so I figured I'd walk and talk. Let's see how that goes. Take a little fresh air. So I've had a very interesting, and I want to call it almost magical, few days where I think everybody's having very specific experiences with what's happening, but it's like my whole life flashed before me, and I've been remembering all the things I've done and people that I've met, lessons that I have forgotten, and some that I still remember. And it's been such an interesting experience going back and feeling really grateful for some of the most amazing things that have happened to me. Like working for this company called Club Med. So I wanted to come on and just share some of what wants to come through me. I feel so connected to Mother Earth that some of these messages are just coming through me, and I'll let them have their space, and hopefully there's something valuable for you or somebody you know. So I work for this company called Club Med, and a lot of you know me from there. Some people don't know I ever worked there. And think of an all-inclusive resort like a cruise ship, but on land. So, and all over the world. And working for this company has mega pros and very specific cons. So on the upside, I got to live all over the world. Japan, Australia, Brazil, Portugal, Turks and Caicos, Thailand. I had the opportunity to live and work all over, and they were also very keen on training us and sending us all over the world to train. Bali, Cancun, France. And this was amazing because we had the opportunity to learn so many things. We got trained in cross-cultural communication, profiling, hosting, luxury service, sports, entertainment, how to deal with obstacles, how to deal with procrastination, relating to others. Just, I couldn't tell you how many trainings, because we were constantly dealing with many people, and we wanted to offer and find ways to relate and be the best hosts. So I remember, I think at one point I was living in Thailand and I was working with 26 different nationalities. It's just really beautiful when you get to know people from different parts of the world and how they see the world and relate. And it's just such a rich learning experience. And I'm super grateful for that. On the downside, you worked nonstop in Club Med. 16-hour days were very common, if not daily. And you were always a little similar to now with other people. And I'm talking about if you're home, with your family, lover, kids. We lived together, we worked together, and we constantly had to be with guests, all the meals. So like a typical day would be like you have breakfast with guests, then you go do your work. That could be teach trapeze or manage the sports team or bartend or give sailing lessons. Then we would come back and do these little dances around the pool, or crazy signs to entertain the guests a little. Then you would go sit down with the guests to have lunch. And they would always ask many questions about how it was to work and live there. And at one point we said, oh my God, we can write these answers in a little card and just give it to people so we could eat at peace. And we'll go back, eventually come back for an afternoon work shift, then have a drink with the guests before dinner, eat with the guests, put on a show for the guests, then maybe a rehearsal or a meeting, and then we would party with the guests. So it was also a beautiful place to party with the most beautiful and interesting people I had ever met. But it was overwhelming, and the schedule was really back to back, and it reminds me a little bit of the parents that I've spoken to, that they're parenting, homeschooling, being in quarantine, taking care of the house, cooking. It's nonstop. And I remember one of the first managers I had very beautiful person. He told us in our first meeting, he said, there's a trick to this life. He says, you get what you put in. If all you do is work, and focus on the must do, the shoulds, the responsibilities, it's a lot similar to now, right? All the things you have to get done during the day to function during the quarantine. If you only do that and sleep or rest, you would hate this place and you will be unable to see the magic of this experience. But he said, if you, instead of maybe taking that nap, you go and learn to dive or learn a new language or take a volleyball lesson, a golf lesson, a tennis lesson, because all the amenities were also available for us. So everything that was available in the resort, we could also take part of, the excursions. And he's like, if you go and explore and get curious, it may seem like you're doing more and that you will be more tired, but you would actually be more energized. And then you'll have the magic eyes to see what a beautiful place this is, what a beautiful experience this will be in your life. Oh my God, and that stuck with me, and that was so true. When, because you can get stressed, and definitely when I was a manager there, when I only did everything I had to do, which already felt like an enormous, overwhelming amount, I was just exhausted and drained, and I really didn't have any kind of, I lost you guys there for a second. I didn't really have that motivation and spark. But when I got involved and learned and interacted and used my break to do something new, I felt re-energized. It's almost like when you decide to go to the gym after a long day of work, it actually makes you feel better, and it's so important. And I feel that this lesson is something that can be so valuable now during what's happening. We need something to focus on that is not the virus or the fear or the doubt or the complications. Is there anything in your life that you want to have a vision for right now? Something that you want to, and it could be a goal that you had from the past. It could be, actually it's time to lose that weight or start to eat healthy now that we're cooking at home. There's so many areas, I would say, fill in the blank for you. But it will become the fuel. It will become the tool. Maybe you want to take an online course. Everything is happening online. So I'm also super grateful that there's so many opportunities to learn. And it is a choice. I also think that is a time for major self-responsibility and accountability. We are all in this together. In my lifetime, it's the first time that I feel like we all have the same, we're dealing with a similar challenge, and we're all experiencing it in a different way. We're dealing with similar challenge, but it's definitely affecting all of us differently. So, how do you want to show up? What are you going to put in? Because that is what you're going to get out. Your energy is contagious. If your energy is a fear and doubt, that is the taste that is going to have around you and what you're contributing. But if you have some joy, you want to share some hope, a vision that you're excited about, a little project that is going to be your thing, your fuel, I think that's really going to infuse the experience with some energy, some positivity, some strength. Working for Club Med also taught me that there's things that sometimes we don't appreciate in the moment while they're happening. I miss the busyness of Club Med. The nonstop busyness that we were all complaining about is also the one thing that we all miss, the ones that have left. So also think of the things that maybe you were taking for granted before all this happened. Maybe you were getting invited to hang out with your friends and you didn't, and now you wish you did. And the same token, What are some of the things that you have now that if it got worse, that you would really miss? And can we hold on to those things tighter now? I keep telling to myself, oh my God, I'm so glad it's not worse. I'm so glad I can still come out and take a walk. I'm glad I can still go buy some food in the supermarket. There might be a line, so what? So being really aware and grateful of the things that we don't know how long we're gonna have. And not bring fear to that, but really pump up the appreciation, because there is an uncertainty to all of it. So, oh wow. Yeah, so what I'm remembering from Club Med is what you put in is what you're gonna get. The self-responsibility is so sexy, so juicy right now. The choices, what we decide to focus on. And being intentional with having something that's gonna fuel us. And only you know that individually for you. For me, I'm feeling more inspired to be a better coach, to learn more, to take more trainings, to relate to my clients on a deeper level. For some people, you know, I've already said a few examples. There's so many things that can make this time more beautiful, and it really comes down to being really intentional, waving that white flag of self-responsibility and owning it, owning your stuff, and the things that maybe some of us haven't dealt with and maybe bubbling up and coming up to the surface. The triggers are the guides. A teacher called Satyan once posted. So I'll leave you with that. I'm really enjoyed this walk, and I'm grateful for this walk and that I can be in New York and connect with so many people from all over the world. It's a beautiful time. And that's the energy that I want to contribute, because I'm feeling excited and I don't really have too much time for Mr. Fear and Lady Doubt. I'm over with them. So enjoy and let me know what your vision is. Let me know what you're working on. You know, emotional eating is another one. I won't go into it too much in this video, but it's a thing that's also affecting a lot of the people that I've been speaking to. It's easy to go into our addictions and our self-defense mechanisms, and watch out for them, because they're little leeches. They'll suck you dry. So awareness, intention. Ciao, ciao.